Shalom Sprouties, this is Rivkah from the Korganic Family. I'm talking a little bit quieter than I normally talk because I have my kids napping right by me, so I'm going to try not to be as loud. In this video we're going to review the demo site, and we are also going to start deleting the demo pages in our WordPress Foodie Pro theme. There's just too much stuff going on. I don't want to go in and edit all of the demo pages. What I want to do is maybe select a couple that I'm going to focus on and delete the rest of them. So the first thing that I want to do that I think is valuable is go look at the Foodie Pro demo site. You just want to get a really quick overview of what's going on this site, and the reason is it can be helpful to reference later. So I'm going to go through it really quick. I'm going to only pause for a second on things that could be read, because you could always pause the video to read them, or go to the Foodie Pro site yourself, but I'm just going to go over an overview, also for myself, just to have as a reference. And what we're going to do is look at, if we visit our site that we're working on, this is going to be our site, and then this is the Foodie Pro official demo site. They're very similar, except we've done this, which is custom, and we did our About Me page, which is somewhere in here. I don't even know how to access it right now because it's not in the menu bar. But what I was going to say is anytime I click on any of these pages, it takes me to the Foodie Pro site anyway right now, and that's part of the reason I kind of want to delete most of the pages also as well, is because it's kind of like that whole, all that demo stuff is like backlinked to like this. I don't even know if that's the right term, but it's like linked to this demo site. So a lot of times, for example, if I click on something, whatever it is, well, now it's taking me to mine. Okay, now it's making me silly. I don't know how this happened before, but I kept ending up on the demo site. Okay, so I almost thought I was silly again, but I did find an example. Okay, so if you come to the contact page, you can see we're in the Korganic Family site. And then if you come down, and for example, you just say learn more. This wasn't the example that I had just used, but see, it takes us back to Shaybox, the designer site. And there's other places I've clicked around, and I keep ending up on this Foodie Pro site. So for other examples, you'll just have to take my word for it, because as I click on every example, it's not working. But a lot of the places where I clicked, it was linked to this site. So the main point that I'm trying to make is I think it makes more sense to delete a lot of the pages, which will eliminate a lot of the links that are going to take a potential viewer to the wrong site, to the Foodie Pro site instead of to our site. But I do think it's important to look at all this information. So anyway, I'm just going to leave this open here and then come over here and actually look at the Foodie Pro site. So there's a couple things we want to look at. We're going to have to edit this because I believe that's also, yeah, that's over there. I'm going to have to make sure this goes to the right place. We'll have to somehow connect our email address. We've already done our custom header. We're going to work on our menu soon. I thought we were going to do that next, but I realized what we need to do first is organize and set up a couple more of our pages. We only did our About Me page so far. I think we're going to try to set up our recipe page, and maybe like our blog page, and I don't know necessarily, just like an automatic home page, something for all, the whole site to land on. So what I wanted to show is this, the demo website has this slider. I'm probably going to take that out of my website. just because I have heard that it's not the most engaging thing. I guess maybe because it's moving, people don't feel like they can click on it or don't want to click on it, or it's not as inviting. Um, but besides having recently heard that, uh, I don't personally like things to move or flash on my site. One of the reasons that I chose Foodie Pro, one of the main reasons, is a lot of my favorite websites right now and blogs are very simple. I really like the simple, clean layout. I really appreciate not having things moving and flashing. So even though this is minimal moving and flashing, um, I just don't particularly like moving, flashing things. But I mean, for a moving thing, it is pretty cool. It is pretty clean because the whole site is clean and it's not like you have tons of stuff flashing. But if you were to have, for example, up here, a lot of people put like ad space and stuff like that, and maybe you have a couple ads, scattered throughout, and then you also have that flashing, then it starts to kind of overwhelm me. Anyway, the next thing you have is basically, I believe usually your homepage is highlights from your blog roll, so to speak. And I like the layout of this, making the first and most recent blog post kind of big and more featured, and then having, I don't know if I want to do it in the sidebar, we'll figure that out later, but I do like having then other posts featured below that main one. And you can set up Foodie so that you have multiple different ways to set this up. So where you have 2, 3, 4, I don't know how many you can go up to, but there's different ways to set this up. So this is an example of like 2 across the page, and there's 1. So okay, so you can see right here they're calling that the full width of display because it's taking up the whole sample across. And then the 1/3 grid, and then there's the 1/4 grid. There's a 1/6 grid, and if I'm not mistaken, there's a way to do it where you kind of stack also. So you do the 1/3 twice, and I'm sure you could probably do like the 1/4 twice, so that you can have different ways to kind of show off previous posts and have it rotate automatically as you add new posts. That's really cool for a blog. And then let's look at our sidebar. So you can rearrange this, but let's just kind of look at how they have it. I am probably going to go with, in my initial setup, I'm going to keep going with as much as standard as possible, just because I've been having to go through and learn so much that unless I have a specific reason or clarity that I need to do something a certain way, I just don't really need to reinvent the wheel. And then if I want to change things in the future, I can kind of move them around. So I'm kind of happy that we just have this nice layout to follow to get started. So this is like a mini about me that you can link to more of your about me. So I'm going to open it in a new tab. This should probably take you to the about page or to her website. So this is kind of like the mini about me section. A lot of times people also put their picture up there, and then I really love these. I think that's so nice. It's very simple and clean looking also to link to your Facebook and Pinterest and Instagram, and that's really nice. And then again, you have more of a like a preview of your posts here on your sidebar, if you want to use that. And then an ad space. Again, you can move all these around. They can be up, lower. A search, this website, and I'm hoping that this categories and archives, I don't know yet, but I'm hoping it's separate from a search this website, just because in my particular site category, it would really need to specify recipe categories, because we're actually going to have so much on one site that I don't want to confuse people by saying categories when there's so many different categories on the website. And then also kind of as subcategories, there's going to be recipe categories, which is what they have here. And that's what I actually need this feature for, and it's one of the things that I love about Foodie Pro. is how it organizes all the recipes, and then the archives. And then we have the newsletter. So you have the newsletter in two places. You have it at the top of the page, and then you have it again here. I guess this is like a text box, and then again your social icons if you want to have them repeat, or maybe it was part of that text box, and then another ad space. I really think you can keep adding to the sidebar. I don't know that there's any specific limit. And then we'll just look here. We have another space where we could do previews of posts, more social media icons, another little blurb. I think this probably matches the top right, but this has a picture. And then more ad space. You have two more ad spaces here that you could pop in. Okay, so I'm just curious. So Foodie Pro. Oh, this is me, Foodie Pro. And then that was just actually about the designer. Okay, so you have different things that you could put. I guess this is not really the About Me that I was thinking it was. This is more of just a text box. I was thinking it was this, which is what a lot of people put in the top right of their blog. Okay, but whatever. We have to find out how to do those little pictures so that they show up nice and clean. I like those when I go on people's blogs, just sharing a little bit of my personal taste. I really like those when they're in the top right, because when you come to somebody's blog or website, it's like you instantly connect with their face and you instantly have kind of a personal connection. And even though the space is great for a lot of other things because it's very eye-catching, I like and appreciate when one of the first things I do when I hit a site is connect with the person and immediately identify with who I'm listening to. Okay, so then there's some sample pages here and sub-sample pages. I don't fully understand this. It's going off to the right. I guess that's what a sub-page is. I don't really clearly understand that yet, or why it wouldn't. Well, I guess this would be different categories, and maybe this would be pages that you would want to have connected. I don't know. I haven't really figured this out. And there's no real difference. I clicked on these already. There's no real difference. Like I said, if I go too fast, you can always pause. This is just the same paragraph repeated through most of the website. This is just a basic text page, and they were all like that. It's just titled different. Okay, so then we're going to go to page layouts, and let's do content sidebar. This is the default way that Foodie Pro set up, with all your content over here and your sidebar of stuff over here with all your widgets. So you can see all the widgets are over there and all your content is over to the left, and you can also see that there's different ways, again, even within pages, to set this up. So I'm going to go through these in just a second, but first I'm going to focus on the page layouts. So we have the content and then the sidebar, and then we have the sidebar on the left and the content on the right. You can see it's just basically the same stuff, and you can see the example of the this is supposed to be content sidebar, but it's just I guess a typo, or they need to go in and edit this because it's really oh no, I'm sorry, it wasn't this one. This one's right. This one is content sidebar. I think it was this one that was messed up. So you can see it's content, and then you have two sidebars on your right, two separate sidebars, and then here, this was the one that, yeah. Oh no, sorry. Maybe I got confused. Okay, so this is one sidebar, another sidebar, and then your content. You can see as you go down how you can add the extra sidebar, and that other mini sidebar squishes in for your room with your content. It depends on what you're comfortable with, but it gives you a lot more advertising space and a lot more space to kind of play with as far as, you know, putting more on a page if you feel like you need that. And then there's the option of having the sidebars on either side and the content in the middle. I think they all look pretty good. The only one I don't like is the last one we were on, where you have two sidebars on the left and then content. I think then you're forcing the reader, since we read in English left to right, I think then you're forcing the reader to look at too many different things before they're actually getting to the content. Whereas, at least if you have your content on the side or in the middle, if you want to, it does. Then in that case, I don't think it looks bad to get away with two sidebars. I prefer one. Visually, but I can certainly understand for advertising or whatever reason, if you're trying to monetize your blog, that you would want to have more than one sidebar. So that's just the content in the middle, and then here's the full width content. I think this is really handy in certain things, like I had mentioned in my About Me page. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then we're going to go back up here, and we're just going to show the different ways pages can be laid out really quickly. This is a sample post, and you can add the small caption under the photo. You can see that it's kind of a different font, and it really looks separate from the rest of the text. So if you want to really differentiate something about the photo, you can have an opportunity to do that there. You can also put links inside of your text. So then you have your text, and then you have this. This is really nice for a beginner. I don't know if this is laid out exactly how I want, as far as how I want my recipes to be laid out, but it's really nice for a beginner coming in, not having experience, to have all of this stuff, pre-set up and so functional, where you can have everything laid out so nicely and include pictures and a print button. And I mean, that's just so fantastic. And then there's also the comments are enabled here. So you have the comments, and you also have where you can do the reply comments. So like this is like as if a person commented, and if somebody's replied back to them. So that's really nice. There's also a place where you could do ratings, so somebody could leave a reply and rate the recipe. If you want people to rate your rate your recipes. Okay, I think I'm going to do the rest of these in new tabs just to make it go faster. So now this is a sample post. It's supposed to be a sample post with the image aligned left, but it's centered. It's an accident. Somebody just needs to go in and fix that. It's more of the same, but you'll see when I show you the one that's, so this is supposed to be aligned left. It'll basically just be the opposite of this one, where it's aligned right. So that one was supposed to be with the picture on the left side. It just shows you different ways to lay it out. We have the pages, the pictures, and then this is the one that's supposed to be centered with the image centered. It's just like the other one we saw. And this is with an unordered list. I haven't gotten into building pages yet, so I'm not familiar with this, but basically this is a list. You can do something to create lists where you just have bullet points, so it's calling it unordered because it's not numbered. And then this is the same thing. It's called an ordered list because it's numbered. And I think that's mainly for like ingredients and stuff, or maybe steps, however you want to do it. And this is with what they're calling a block quote. I was trying to really understand what that is. I guess what it just is showing this, font and section different. Just like if you want to add a caption, it makes a differentiation. So I guess that's what you're gaining here by using block quotes, so that you can differentiate if you want to, have the quote be different, so it stand out. And then this is a sample post with headlines, and it's just showing you the different headlines that are available and what they look like. So going back to the demo site, which we're almost done with, this is one of the most amazing things about Foodie Pro. I don't know what was the one thing that made me choose Foodie Pro, but this was in, let's say, the top 2 or 3 that I can't decide. This might have been it. This is just super cool because I love how it organizes, how you can tag your recipes and you can have things categorized by category and also by their date. And then there's also a search function. So what gets even better is that in each category you have these previews that you can have there. And I think this is pretty automatic. I don't know until I get into setting up the recipe page, but I mean, this is just really nice that you have previews of each section. And then this was just a page that showed the different ways that you can have columns be set up. I couldn't really think of a reason that I would want to have columns set up, but I might, I don't know, and it's just cool to know that it's available. And then of course, a really basic contact page. And that's it. So that's the demo site. And the reason that it was really important, I think it's really important after you've, set up all your demo info or your demo content on your site, that as you start practicing, it's really nice to be able to see everything and see how it all lays out. But at this point, I actually plan to go in. I want to look at my pages so that I don't have all those other links to the Foodie Pro site, and so that I have links and clean pages to my site with all my links. So I'm going to start selecting the pages that I know what they are and I know that I don't want them, because I'm going to do my own pages. So the About Us page is a page that I already did. Columns Classes is that page that showed the different columns, and the page layouts, and the page layouts had these things underneath it that just showed all the different ways you could lay your page out, which was really nice, but I don't need them. And then page templates, I'm going to double check that. Oh, it's this one. No, wait, wait, I got confused. Oh, page templates. I think it's this. I'm not sure. I'm gonna leave that. So any of the ones that I don't clearly know what they are, I'm gonna wait and review them, because I want to learn what all of these different things are before I just take them off. And I think these are important to understand what they are and how they work. Definitely this one, but I'm gonna leave this one because I don't know, maybe it'll just be easier to edit this one than to start it all over. But I don't want to do that with so many different pages. So like the samples and the sub samples, those can all go. Since I know that the contact page is one of the initial ones that I want to make, I might want to look at editing that one. Okay, so with all of those, I'm going to go ahead and say move to the trash. fly. Okay, so now I have much less that I have to look at. Like, what's this? Oh, okay, that's not, I got confused. That's just the same as that. I guess you get the view from the bottom. Okay, so obviously I know the About Us, I created that. I'm going to want to look at the archive page, the blog page, the contact page, the templates, and the recipes, and see if it might be better to edit those. I'm going to do that without recording just because it takes me longer when I initially look at it, and then I can kind of go through in the next video and let you know what I decided to do with it. And after that, we'll have a few pages to work with after we get that part done to create our menu bar. And I'm really excited because all of this technical stuff is kind of tiring, especially because I've been doing it for a few days, even though there's only, I don't know, probably an hour or so worth of video. It's actually been hours behind a lot of the videos. So I'm really excited to get into the fun stuff and be able to be creative and start really creating the content. So anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up, and even better, subscribe to our channel.